Pinky looked around at all of her old friends. "Well, well, well," she said. "Isn't this a big family reunion?" "We're here to stop you," said Trixie. "For good." "Really?" asked Pinky. "Oh, by the way, how's Dash?" "Still in the hospital," said Twilight. "You really hurt her?" said Rarity. "Rainbow Dash was really fun to hang out with," said Pinky. "So, how's your new horn, Rarity?" "It's fine." "You know, you ponies are lucky you caught me when you did," said Pinky. "If you hadn't sent in Trixie, Rainbow Dash was going to lose her wings." "That's absolutely horrid," said Rarity. "Oh, Rarity," said Pinky. "Still annoying as ever." "Annoying?" asked Rarity. "And how are you, Fluttershy?" Said Fluttershy softly. "Fine." "Come on," said Pinky. "Speak up." "Leave her alone, you hear?" yelled Applejack. "Oh, AJ, how's Applebloom?" "Better," said Applejack. "No thanks to you." "Really, I thought I had her for good," said Pinky. "Well, you obviously underestimated the power of—" Twilight started. "Friendship?" asked Pinky. "Love? You make me sick." "You used to like friendship," said Twilight. "Used to?" asked Pinky. "Used to? You don't think it would make me happy to find someone out there who was like me? Some pony I could hang out with and not have to worry about them alerting the royal guard? Nothing would make me more happy than to find a friend who likes what I like. And that's why I liked little Applebloom. She understood me." "You corrupted her!" yelled Applejack. "I did not corrupt her!" yelled Pinky. "She came to me of her own free will." "What?" asked Applejack. "Oh, she hasn't told you?" asked Pinky. "This just keeps getting better and better." "You're lying," said Applejack. "Am I? Why don't you ask her next time you see her?" "All right, that's enough," said Trixie. "We came here to stop you, and that's what we're going to do." "Ah, Trixie," said Pinky, "how could I forget about you? So tell me, did you help stop me because you cared for Ponyville? Or because you cared more about your reputation?" "What's that got to do with anything?" asked Trixie. "Tell me," said Pinky, but Trixie said nothing. "Tell me!" "Twilight was right. I was lonely," said Trixie. "I wanted friends. The only way I could get any pony to like me was to help save Ponyville. So no, I didn't do it for my reputation. I helped save Ponyville because I wanted to." "Really?" asked Pinky. "Is that so?" "Yes." Pinky smiled. "Then there's only one thing left to do." Pinkie Pie lunged at Twilight. She stepped out of the way just before Pinky could bite her, and Trixie ran at Pinky and levitated some rocks. She threw the rocks at Pinky, but they were easily dodged. Pinkie Pie slipped behind Trixie and kicked her on her back. Trixie fell to the ground, and when she tried to get up, Pinky held her front leg down with a hoof. "You're so weak," said Pinky. She applied pressure, and Trixie winced as she started to feel pain. Applejack rammed it at Pinky, knocking her away from Trixie, and Trixie got up and felt pain in her leg where Pinky stepped on it. "You okay?" asked Applejack. "Nothing broken?" "No," said Trixie. "It just hurts." Pinky tackled Applejack to the ground, and Applejack used her hind leg to kick Pinky off, but Pinky lunged at Applejack again, this time biting her back leg. Applejack yelled in pain as Pinky's teeth broke the skin, and blood spilled out onto her face. Rarity threw a rock at Pinky's head, causing her to release her grip. Applejack limped away, wincing in pain with each step. but Pinkie Pie got back up and looked around. She spotted Fluttershy hiding in Macy's clothing store. Pinkie leaped at Rarity and bit her front leg. Rarity yelled in pain as Pinkie Pie left Rarity and headed for Macy's. But Twilight stepped in her way. "Where do you think you're going?" she asked. Pinkie let out a growl and lunged at Twilight. Twilight dodged, and Pinkie kicked her in the side. Twilight fell to the ground, and when she tried to get up, Pinkie kicked her in the head, knocking her out. Pinkie continued on to Macy's. When she got there, the door was locked. She turned around and butt-kicked the door open. She entered and looked around. "Hey, Fluttershy," she said soothingly. Come out, wherever you are." She heard faint whimpering. "I can hear you." She looked behind a clothing rack. No Fluttershy. She looked behind another. Still nothing. "Where's Pinkie?" asked Applejack. "She hid into my store," said Macy. "Why would she go in there?" asked Rarity. Then every pony looked at each other. "Fluttershy," said Applejack. Fern looked at the store and then at every other pony. They all seemed too injured to run. She then knew what she had to do. She took off towards the store. Pinkie kicked over another clothing rack. Nothing. "I'm getting really angry now, girl," she yelled. She knocked over another clothing rack. She then spotted something yellow in the far corner. She headed over to the clothing rack and kicked it over. Fluttershy let out a scream of fear. "There you are," said Pinkie. Before Pinkie could react, Fern appeared and rammed into her, knocking her into the wall. "Run!" yelled Fern. "Thank you," said Fluttershy, bolting for the door. Pinkie Pie kicked Fern in the back legs, and she fell to the floor. "You are such a disappointment," she said, kicking Fern again, pushing her along the floor. "You showed such promise." She kicked her again, nudging her closer to the front of the store. "Just stop," said Fern. "Stop?" asked Pinkie. "Why should I change who I am?" Pinkie turned around and took a couple of steps. "Just because what I do isn't socially acceptable." Fern stood up. "Because there are ponies that care about you and want the old Pinkie back." Pinkie turned back to face Fern. "Pinkie's dead," she said. "I'm Pinkamena." She rammed into Fern, knocking her through the window at the front of the store. She tumbled across the ground and then slid to a stop. The other ponies all watched as Pinkie left the store. She stood above Fern, who was too injured to move. "This is the end for you," said Pinkie. Just then, a couple Pegasus fell from the sky and landed in front of Fern's post office. It was the Royal Guard. Princess Celestia and Princess Luna were with them too. "Pinkamena Diane Pie," she said. "You are under arrest for crimes of horrible nature." Pinkie Pie thought for a second, before answering. "Sorry, Princess," she said, "but I'm not giving up so easily." She took off towards the end of town. "Get her!" yelled Celestia. The Royal Guards took off after her. "And don't let her get away again!" Twilight started to regain consciousness. She looked up and saw Fern collapse on the ground, surrounded by broken glass. She slowly got to her feet and stumbled over to Fern. She knelt down beside her. "Fern?" "I'll live," she said. "What happened?" "Pinkie was going to kill Fluttershy." "You saved Fluttershy?" asked Twilight. Fern nodded. "Thank you." Luna then stood next to Twilight. "Are you all right?" she asked. "Yeah," said Fern. "You ponies did well," said Luna. "Indeed they did," said Celestia, joining them. "But unfortunately, Pinkie escaped again. You did, however, manage to save an entire town. Good job." "Thanks, princesses," said Twilight. "But enough about that," said Luna. Right now, we have to get this one to a doctor, as well as the rest of you. And we shall, said Celestia. Let's go, everypony. Nice work. Fern opened her eyes. You're awake, said a voice. And she looked to her right. There was a blue Pegasus in a hospital bed by the door. Who are you? I'm Rainbow Dash, answered the Pegasus. What happened to you? A pink pony kicked me through a window. Pinkie Pie? Asked Rainbow Dash. What happened? She got away. That's too bad. Wait, said Fern. Rainbow Dash? You're friends with Twilight and the others, right? Yeah. How'd you know? They mentioned your name. Said Pinkie hurt you. And also that you could have lost your wings. Yeah, said Rainbow Dash. I'm lucky to have friends like them. A unicorn entered the room. Hey, Fern. Macy, said Fern. Hi. How are you feeling? She asked, standing next to Fern's bed. Better. The nurse said I can get up and walk this afternoon. How was the operation? Asked Macy. Operation? Asked Dash. Yeah, said Fern. They had to take the pieces of glass out of me. They put me to sleep while they did it, of course. Of course, said Dash. And who are you? Asked Macy. My name's Rainbow Dash. And yours? Macy. Nice to meet you. Then Twilight and the others appeared in the doorway. Hey, Rainbow Dash, said Twilight, standing beside her bed. The doctors say it'll be another day or two before you can leave here. Isn't that great? Finally, said Dash. I miss you guys. I see you met Fern and Macy, said Twilight. Fern saved me, said Fluttershy. It was nothing, said Fern. Nothing? Asked Rainbow Dash. Saving a life isn't nothing. You're a hero. She's right, you know, said Trixie. And don't fight it. They won't let you. Trust me. Fern smiled, for the first time ever. She now has more than one friend.